You know what I can't wait for? Nintendo 2021. Just think about it for a second. We could be getting Bayonetta 3, No More Heroes 3, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and Pokemon Snap all in 1 year. And this doesn't include any of the Nintendo Switch games that we don't even know about. Nintendo in 2021 is going to be insanely good, and according to these new Nintendo Switch leaks, 2022 will just be as mind-blowing. Hey guys, it's Rob here, and welcome back to the Robo-chan Show, where we cover the latest gaming news, leaks, and rumors from Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo in 2020 and beyond. If you want to be kept up on the latest gaming news, make sure you click that red subscribe button below this video and that notification bell so you know when I upload. And if you're interested, I have a Patreon, which link to that will be in the pinned comment along with my Twitter account. In this video, we're going to go over yet another Nintendo Switch leak list by New Marco Maro, which is very similar to the last one he did, which gave away a lot of Nintendo Switch games for 2020. We also will talk about the first Nintendo Direct in 2021, which I think will be bigger than we initially thought. So Nintendo is back on track with announcing new Nintendo Switch games, and for a while there, things were looking a bit scary when it comes to new Nintendo Switch games and Nintendo Switch announcements. But in the past couple months, we have gotten a lot of Nintendo news outlining some of the releases for 2021 and the rest of 2022. Now, some of these releases did get delayed into 2021, like No More Heroes 3 and Bravely Default, a trend that I could see continuing as Nintendo deals with the virus. But the reason why I bring this up is the last time New Marco Maro put a list out like this, a lot of the Nintendo leaks either ended up coming to pass or the games on the list were delayed. Nintendo Switch games like No More Heroes 3, No More Heroes 1 and 2, Nintendo being aggressive starting at September 11th, all came to pass, though games like Bravely Default and No More Heroes 3 were unfortunately delayed. So of course when I saw this next list, I got pretty pumped about this. But as always, before we go over this list, I want to make sure it's 100% clear that this is a potential leak that could potentially be true, but also could be 100% fake. That being said, let's go over these new Nintendo Switch leaks. So there are 4 tweets here, and the first one is pretty interesting and repeats a lot of the rumors and leaks that we've covered in the past. He says the first half of 2021 will hold a Pokemon Snap in spring. Now, in the previous one, he said Pokemon Snap was on November 20th, but he also said it was an internal date, and if this does come to pass, I'm guessing the date changed. Next up is a Pokemon Collection. Now, he doesn't mention if this collection is of the spin-offs of Pokemon, like Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness and Colosseum, or is this the mainline Pokemon games like the Pokemon Red, Gold, and Ruby, which recently has had a leak under the name of Pokemon Masters from a website called Game, which my comment section has informed me that it's a UK seller just like GameStop in the US. And of course, being from the US, I didn't really know that. Now he states that this Pokemon collection is going to be coming in February. The next one is a Japan only release, and that's going to be a remake of the Famicom Detective Club. Moving on to the next one on the list that really caught my attention, and a Nintendo Switch game we have been waiting for what seems like ages now, we have Breath of the Wild 2 coming out in April. He also says it will come out in April if there are no delays. I've been saying this for a very long time now. The virus is still around and is still causing delays for the video game industry, so things are bound to change. Now the next one is a game that I've been seeing pop up in leaks and rumors for about 1 or 2 years now, and that's a Metroid 2D game. The last Nintendo Switch leak from New Marco Maro did say that it would be a great way to start out 2021, and it seems like it's the case in this Nintendo Switch leak too. Now he also mentions that if it doesn't have any more delays and is already finished, implying that this rumored game also has had delays in the past, which could be the reason why we keep seeing rumors pop up for a 2D Metroid. Next one is a new IP, which he doesn't have any more info other than that, but the last leak did say that the ones behind Paper Mario and the Origami King IS has 2 more games, so there's a possibility that we could get a new IP from IS. The last one on this first tweet of 4 is a remake of Fire Emblem. This Fire Emblem remake is coming out sometime between spring and summer according to this leak, which would be a pretty neat way to round out the first half of 2021. And I think it would definitely get a lot of fans excited, especially considering that Fire Emblem 3 Houses and the mobile Fire Emblem game brought in so many new players to the series. Now moving on to the second tweet of 4 tweets, we have a lot of huge Nintendo Switch games. This one is for the second half of 2021, so think mid-summer to December. The first one on this list is Bayonetta 3. Now Bayonetta 3 hasn't had any Nintendo news lately, so I would not be surprised if we do get a delay for Bayonetta 3. Next up we have a Zelda Collection. Now this is just like the Pokemon Collection where it's unclear as to what kind of collection it is. But recent news from a Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary can give us some hints. Long story short, there are trademarks that were found for a whole slew of Zelda products in the same way that a whole bunch bunch of products for trademarks for the Super Mario 35th anniversary, leading many to speculate that we will be getting a Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary. Now, if you want to see a whole video on that, I have one in the top right corner, which you can click that and it'll bring you to that video, with of course a link in the description below as well. Now, this Zelda collection could be the Zelda Anniversary Collection as part of the celebration for Zelda's 35th anniversary. Technically Link's 35th anniversary, but you know, tomato tomato. And to add to what I just said, the next one is a Wii U port of Zelda games. Now, we know that there's an Amazon listing for the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. We also know that Nintendo has yet to put Wind Waker on the Nintendo Switch, something that's been on the Wii U for a while now, so naturally you would think that they would put that on the Switch. My theory is that Nintendo could be saving it for a Zelda collection or a separate release during the Zelda 35th anniversary, or Link. Now, the next one is huge, and it's one that's been on other Nintendo Switch leaks, and that's a new Donkey Kong. This leak specifically says Donkey Kong Country 6. Now, for me, I'd like to see this Donkey Kong do what Nintendo has been doing with a lot of its IPs lately and bring some sort of new gameplay or bring back some gameplay to the series. So I'm hoping if this is true, we get a game in the vein of Donkey Kong 64. And to round out the second half of 2021, we have Pokemon Gen 4 Remakes. Now, this doesn't say which platform it's going to be. Is it going to be on the Nintendo Switch or 3DS? But seeing as the Switch is selling massively well already, the Switch will probably be the likely platform. Now, Gen 4 is Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, so getting a remake of these games would surely be interesting as they were released on the Nintendo DS. Not to mention, what kind of style would they take? Would it be a Link's Awakening situation, which my god, that would be really cool? Or would we get a style that is more or less like Pokemon Sword and Shield, which we know is not the best looking style for a remake? Moving on to tweet 3 out of 4, he says that these games will lie somewhere in 2021. The first one is WarioWare, which is mostly finished according to this Nintendo leak. Now, in the past he has said that IS still has games, and seeing as Intelligent Systems has made a WarioWare game in the past, it wouldn't surprise me if this rumored WarioWare game is going to be made by IS. Next up, we have Style Boutique, a game which I've never heard of, but apparently it's already finished. PG Ports is also on the list, and he says it's only some of them, not all of them. IS also has an eShop game plan, which is probably some sort of Mario or Pokemon game that's free to play, kind of like Pokemon Rumble, which I believe was back on the Wii, and I really don't know why I recall that specific game, it just popped in my head. And to round out this tweet, he says that Captain Toad will get a sequel, which is likely delayed into 2022. Now, moving on to 2022 plus, we have Pokemon Let's Go 2, a Detective Pikachu sequel, Wario Land, a new Pikmin game, which in the last leak he did say we would get multiple Pikmin surprises, and he also says it may be shown in 2021. He continues on to say that we will have a Zelda Oracle remake, a Paper Mario remake, Advance Wars, which may also be shown in 2021, and also a Metroid Prime Collection, which has been rumored for what feels like years now. He does say it may be late 2021, which depending on the Metroid Prime 4 release schedule, which makes a lot of sense. Nintendo would probably want to release that before Metroid Prime 4. And of course, Metroid Prime 4 also makes it on this list. Now, this is a huge list, and I'm sure by now people probably don't believe in this leak. You're probably typing it down in the comment section, which I don't blame you. A lot of these can be done by simple guesswork or based on past leaks and rumors. It could very well be fake, and if none of these, not even one of these comes true, I won't be paying attention to this leaker anymore. That being said, let's say this is true. What exactly does this mean for the first Nintendo Direct in 2021? Because remember, Nintendo has been holding back a lot of its plans, and that's despite being more open in the past couple months. Well, this could mean when we do get that full 2021 Nintendo Direct, we could not only see Breath of the Wild 2, Bayonetta 3, No More Heroes 3, and other Nintendo Switch games, but also a 2D Metroid, a new IP, a Fire Emblem remake, a Donkey Kong 64, and so much more. Again, if this is true, because it could always be fake. But if this is true, I question how well the Nintendo Switch will sell in 2021. It's still doing really well, and with rumors of a Nintendo Switch Pro in the mix, the Switch brand is going to be huge in 2021. And it makes a lot of sense as to why Nintendo would want all these huge Nintendo Switch games over the course of the next 3 years. The Xbox Series X and PS5 are out, and whether Nintendo wants to admit it or not, they do share some of the consumers now. There are a lot of people who already own a Nintendo Switch or a Nintendo Switch Lite and just got these shiny new consoles, so bringing out huge titles, especially when money is tight and maybe either you can't buy as much games or maybe you're buying only a couple games, you need something to grab their attention, especially with those bigger prices for the next gen consoles. Now again, this could all be fake. I'm not saying this is true. As with all leaks, no matter the source, whether reputable or not, they could always be fake or they could always be true. You never really know until the date has passed. That being said, what do you think about these leaks? Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like. It really helps the video, and of course subscribe for more Nintendo Switch leaks and and news from other companies as well. Thanks for watching this video guys, and as always, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.